when women go through these experiences, I find that we tend to focus on catering to the woman. And it's like, okay, mama, are you all right? Like, can I do anything for you? How can I help you get through this? And we tend to like push the dudes to the side. Like, you're not important. You didn't carry this baby. You didn't give birth to this baby. Like, you're not experiencing the same emotions that I'm experiencing. So, Chachi, maybe we start with you explaining what was the experience. And then I would love to hear from you, Kelvin, how you managed that as her partner.
I don't think I ever like didn't want anything to do with him, or didn't like some women get pregnant and they don't like their partner. They just want them gone. I was very much in love throughout my whole pregnancy, very much in like my bliss of it all. It was after the baby, the intrusive thoughts, the inner turmoil, the fear of something new. I have an incredible support system, and I have a tribe that is elite. And Kelvin, like, literally, he is the epitome of what I would say, like, a father figure, because from the moment Eden was born, he has not dropped the ball when it comes to Eden. Like, he has been so on point, like, without even no one having to tell him anything or having to guide him. Like, it's something that came natural to him too. I did have a C-section, so I was a little uncomfortable. I was not feeling myself. I gained so much weight after because of complications, and I was retaining so much water, and I was swollen for over 3 weeks. And then think of having a C-section and then having to take care of somebody and feed and breastfeeding and, milk not producing. And then, so there was just so many things that were happening where it's like, I know there was a silver lining in there somewhere, which is my son, right? That was the most beautiful thing that came out of the whole thing. But it's a dark and scary place. The best way I could describe it for a while was just like, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Because I didn't want to tap into all the ugly and like layers of it. But I'm happy I didn't get it as bad as other people. I'm happy that after 2 years, I finally feel like myself. I've spoken to people who have said that after 4 years, they felt like themselves. So I feel like at least it only took me 2 years to kind of snap back and get into it, not necessarily snap back in my figure, but mentally snap back into like reminding myself like who I am, that yes, I am a woman before anything. But I am also me before I am a mother, before I am an artist, before I am anything else to anyone else. I am a being, and so, I don't think I ever made you feel that way, and if I did, I apologize. But because
I think the hardest thing for us was going through the motions of training and practicing for a natural birth and doing everything that we could do right on our ends, and then that curveball thrown at us where it made the labor process very difficult. Of course, you're already on 36 hours, no sleep, and seeing her in pain and in agony. And it's just like, I just wanted the pain to stop. I'm like, do whatever you feel that is right for your body, for yourself, for your mind to get through this. When Eden was here, I think it was, of course, the adjustment of you're never ready, right? You're never ready until it happens. And that's why there's always so many people that are like, oh, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for that. Well, you'll never be. You just have to put yourself in that situation and let everything work out, because it's that instinct that there's no wrong way of doing it. And I always said this to her when we were with the baby. I think the best thing that ever happened was our house not being ready, and, purchasing a home and doing the construction. And we stayed at her grandmother's house for about 4 months. And that was, to me, I was like, shit, am I going to do this?
When Eden was born?
When Eden was born, because we were staying over there because we knew that we needed a foundation. We needed support system. But also, we didn't know she was going to have a C-section. We were planning on just moving in and just me and her and letting the second floor get constructed while we stayed on the first floor and vice versa. But I said the best thing that happened was that house not being ready, because everything we needed was at her grandmother's house. And I say that because they already had a system set up where before the baby, everyone came to visit grandma, because she has a tribe of amazing women that are all her daughters, and they come religiously Monday through Friday just to spend time with her. So imagine if we were there with the baby, it was just, okay, we can sleep for an hour. Right. Okay, you can sleep for an hour now. Okay, go take a shower. Go do whatever you need. But between me and my wife, we were in a great place. And even if she was going through emotions, she never put it on me. But there were times where I would see or I would notice, and there was nothing that I could do. No meal would make you happier, because, that's me. I want to fill your soul. I want to make sure that you're happy. I want to, even if it's give you time alone or sleep a little bit extra. And I'm still learning as well. I'm a new dad as well. Like I said, I'm a father of 2, but I didn't get to raise my first child the way I missed all those big opportunities, the first steps, and so on and so forth. So for this, I made sure that, I said no to every gig outside of New York. If I'm not coming back home to my family, this is more important, especially in the beginning.
So Chachi, what were the emotions that you were experiencing? Like, what was it?
Okay, so I'm going to try to describe this. It felt like I was so happy that I had this baby in my hands and that he was healthy and that I was okay, right? Because when you give birth, that's like a borderline death situation, real talk, on all levels. You could hemorrhage, you could bleed out, you can, especially a C-section, especially a C-section. But placenta or anything ruptures, like there's so many complications. So I was always grateful that we were both okay, but in the beauty of having the baby and the beauty of having the support system and the beauty of growing and being born as a mom, the beauty of seeing him be a father, I felt like my relationship with my boyfriend, with my fiance, with my soon-to-be husband, though it was growing here, it was deteriorating there. But it was fine and nothing was wrong. But then everything was wrong. And then it was like, I could literally be happy, I swear to God, and be cracking up. And then all of a sudden go from the cracking up to like just intrusive thoughts of like falling down the stairs with the baby, accidentally hurting the baby, accidentally sleeping on top of the baby and suffocating the baby, just intrusive and dark. And I'm so spiritual and connected with God and light that it was just like, I didn't know where this was coming from and I couldn't control it. It had control over me. So though there wasn't things that were affecting like Eden and us at grandma's house and all this other stuff, at the same time, I felt like there was something happening to the relationship. There was drastic things happening in my heart, in my mind, in my head to my relationship with Kelvin. But everyone's like, oh my God, you guys have such a great da-da-da. And then that would put more pressure on me because I'm like, but why am I feeling like this? Nobody knows what I'm fucking living and nobody knows what's in my head and nobody knows, like, I know my heart, but like there's so many thoughts that it's like you kind of like get lost and confused and cluttered and, like when you just have to separate and kind of be quiet just to like tap back in. Yeah. And so that's why I say that a child does do something to a relationship. I mean, sometimes some relationships are fucked up before the children come into the picture. Facts. But it's like, there was times and parts where I wasn't sure if Kelvin and I were gonna work. I wasn't sure if it was gonna continue or if we were gonna move forward with the next step. And at the same time, I was having the best year of my life. So
yes, and we don't talk about this in the community, right? No. Postpartum or even like the mental health, right? So Kelvin, as a partner, seeing your boo thing, going through this, there's literally like nothing you can do, right? It's something, I mean, you could nurture, you could be supportive, but like you said, a meal won't make this better. It's something internal. What did that do to your mental health? Like, did that fuck with you where you were like, yo, I can't be the provider right now. I can't nurture my boo?
It was, more of I wanted to see her happy. That's always, the question that we always try to answer. And, you hear the stereotypical, I'm like, even if it's not with me, I want you to be happy. But no, we got to a point where I just had to listen. I had to be able to be a better listener and not only learn from, my mistakes. It's more about show that you're learning and act on those things. It's not just using your mouth and saying it. It's actually physically, making those changes or of being a better, husband, better person, better provider. It even if I was doing everything I was supposed to be, it would come down to just feeling like, and it wasn't from her, it was just because you go through these motions, like, is everything that I'm doing enough? Or am I doing not enough? Or am I not focusing on the most important thing, which is my family? Am I focusing on other things that don't have to compete or even should have no space in my life anymore? It comes down to a lot of those distractions, and at the end of the day, the most important thing is building on what matters to me most, and that is my foundation, and that is my home, and that is my wife, and that is my son, and making sure that I am the best example for my son, because he sees us every day. And that's why we never, even if we have our little arguments, we make sure that we never disrespect each other. We never raise our voices in front of him. And, and you can have the worst possible day, but when you see that little smile look up at you and just say, Dad, like, it changes your entire mood, Up is his favorite thing. And when he's learning new words, it's like we have to reward him by doing those procedures. So up, you're constantly picking him up every 2 seconds, but it's at such a better place now, knowing that we have those tough conversations, which is sometimes very uncomfortable, because I feel like sometimes I shut down when I guess I've never been so much of the talker. I've never been I've always let things go, and hopefully we can sweep them under the rug and things are going to be better tomorrow. But I've learned with someone like my wife, who loves to talk and loves to put things on the table and isn't going to let things sweep under the rug. Sometimes that's better. And I learned that because I'm not confrontational. That's the way I said it. And it doesn't mean like confrontational in an anger and argument. It's just you saying I did something wrong. I'm going to shut down and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? How do I respond to this? And because that's how I've always been.
You're going to get a bow.
Yeah. I'm going to get yelled at, or, just like even in the work ethic, I felt like if I ever disappointed someone, my response would be to shut down. Yeah. And think about it like, damn, I did fuck up that egg.
How do you fix it? How do I
something as little as like being in the business of you cooked that wrong. I'm like, oh my God, I know better. Why did I do that? Or something as I disappointed my wife by making a wrong decision and doing something that I know I shouldn't have done. I was like, why? Why did I do that? How does that make her feel? Because in reality, if she's not doing well, I'm not doing well. Yeah. Even if I'm the reason. Yeah. Even if I'm the reason that caused it. Yeah. So there could be times where I can do something wrong and I know it, I sense it, I feel it. I'm not going to have a great day. Even if I'm the reason that caused that situation, I'm still going to hurt the entire day because I hurt my partner. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for being so candid and transparent.